Hey guys, we're back with another episode of Indie Talks from 2012. This one was with Mango Down, or at least two members of Mango Down. Marlon, Etheredge, and Guus Hoeve. I can't say these names properly, so forgive me, Dutch people. But after seeing their game at PAX, we knew we wanted to talk with them. This is the first time we talked with a mobile developer, and this kind of was in a time where mobile games weren't maybe as big or flashy as they... I think mobile games were still called apps to most people at this time. Like, sure, things were getting bigger, but there wasn't the weird free-to-play market and the fact that a whole bunch of games from PC were being ported or whatever yet. And for all rights, Catch-22 was a really impressive game. It won multiple awards, it got a lot of talk at the time, and it was just really, really fun to play. It was Zen-like experience with some puzzle, almost platforming qualities to it. One of those games that you would just start up and see how far you can get, kind of like a super hexagon that doesn't make you want to kill yourself. So anyways, enjoy this talk. It was a pretty good one, and if I remember correctly, I think we were feeling a little bit more comfortable after our talk with Miguel, and more like, hey, we can maybe do this sort of thing. So this felt a little better at the time from what I remember. So maybe pick up the game and enjoy this while you play it. Have fun.
Hey guys, how's it going? It's Paul again with Nathan as usual.
Hey.
And today we have Marlon and, I'm sorry, Guus, or is it Gus?
It's a Dutch name. You say it like Guus.
Guus?
Yeah, but you can say Gus. That's much more easier.
Okay. Like, is it offensive if I say Goose?
It's not offensive, but like at some point you'll probably start to throw up. So like, it's in your best interest.
Don't name
it's like the Top Gun character. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay. Okay,
Well,
so Gus then.
That's right.
Yeah, Gus is fine.
Okay. And it's Marlon, right?
Yeah, I'm Marlon.
Marlon. Okay.
As in Brando. Okay.
Yeah, like him. Yeah. Just like that.
Yeah, he looks like it.
Yeah. And for anyone that doesn't know, they are the creators of Catch-22, recently on iOS.
Yes. And there's also a third person, Roel Bartstra. He's not here with us in LA. He's in the Netherlands.
Oh, what are you guys doing in LA?
We were here for Indicate. That was last week.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And
what people are doing.
yes, and we were official selection for Indicate, so we went to Indicate, and now we're enjoying ourselves a little bit.
Right on. Were you two guys at PAX?
Yes.
Yes, we were.
Okay, so I definitely shook hands with at least one of you, and you gave me a ball.
Yeah,
That's-
the squishy balls.
That ball is actually right beside my desk, and every time I'm doing any coding or something that I'm really angry with, I squeeze it. So thank you. You've probably saved my computer or my monitor's life a few times with that ball, so I guess they should be the ones thanking you. But yeah.
Yeah,
And
awesome.
actually, you guys asked me for a card, and I didn't have one available at the time. So
I think you spoke to me.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. I was the guy with the strange tie.
Okay.
Okay.
Did you do the PAX 10 panel too, or?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I was at that thing. I asked a question.
Oh, okay.
We were at PAX. PAX was fun.
And then my friend Sean gave you one of his cards instead. So yeah, it was probably you.
Okay.
All right.
That would have been on the first day. So
What was your question at the panel?
Oh, mine? It was whether or not you should
Design
move.
documents.
No, it was do you have to move to a place in order to become part of the indie scene, or can you start up a scene at home?
Yes,
Ah,
I remember that one actually. Yeah, yeah, Holland is pretty like it's so small.
Right.
So like the indie scene or the Dutch game industry, it's more of the same thing, because there's like guerrilla games, the AAA industry, the only big one in Holland, and yeah, there's the guys from Awesome Knots as well.
yeah.
I think those are the and yeah.
Yeah, there are some bigger companies as well, but yeah, like Gus said, the indie scene and the Dutch game industry is basically the same.
Yeah.
they tend to centralize in Utrecht, but well, there are some companies in Amsterdam as well, but the the traveling time from Amsterdam to Utrecht is 15 minutes. So
Yeah. It's not, we're not scattered all over the country or something.
Okay.
Right on. Well,
Yeah.
I wanted to say congratulations, first of all, for getting your game out.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's a big accomplishment for us.
And I got to admit, I'm a little bit bitter because I'm not an iPhone user, so I'm waiting for Android, but I can wait. It's fine. But yeah, I really like the game. I think I can't remember who I was talking to. It was somebody else at the booth, but I like games that make me hate myself. And that is exactly what your game is. Like in every way, because the only person that messes me up is me from like 2 minutes ago. So
that's the key thing of this game.
I'm a big fan of taking such a simple concept like this and making an actual game that's fun to play. So I gotta ask, where did this idea first come from?
Well, you might have heard that we started out the development of this game at the Global Game Jam in Amsterdam. So we participated in the Global Game Jam in Amsterdam, and the theme for last year's Global Game Jam was Ouroboros. You know, the snake biting its own tail.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
So we actually interpreted that theme as infinity and biting your own tail. So we started to create a game concept out of those two, well, simple yet complicated concepts. And we came up with, well, what is now the basis of Catch 22 actually.
Yeah, so like the game jam is 48 hours, so it forces you to make a really simple game.
Right.
The basic concept of the game was pretty much already done when we came back into the room after the briefing.
Yeah.
And then from there on, like some technical stuff didn't work, and then we fixed it, and like it all came together right before the end of the game jam. Yeah, it's quite interesting what a game jam can do for your game, and to see what after 48 hours you created from the initial idea.
Right.
Now, was that your first game jam, or have you guys been kind of working on stuff for a while?
For me, it was my first.
Okay.
Yeah, we were already doing game development in other formations and stuff, but we actually formed up at the Global Game Jam, and this actually was our first Global Game Jam. So yeah.
Okay. Like as Mango Down, that's where that.
But Mango Down was created after. Yeah. Well.
Okay.
Like I knew Marlon and I knew Roel, but Roel and Marlon didn't know each other, and I knew Marlon from my internship, and I knew Roel from my school.
Okay.
I was like, hey, I'm in my 4th year. I have never done a game jam. I wanted to do this, and I spoke to Marlon a bit, and he was already taking some steps to do the game jam, and I said, hey, you wanna team up, and because I know some other guy who wants to do this as well, and they said, yeah, sure, let's team. And then we all met at the game jam, and from there on the rest is history.
And what was the timeline on? It was pretty quick turnaround, right, from game jam to what we were playing at PAX.
Well, actually, no. The initial game was made in 48 hours, and after the Global Game Jam, we started to actually develop this game. First off, we started with a sort of desktop version of this game, and then we got the idea to bring it to mobile, and we mainly focused on iOS. Since then, we have developed this game for 6 months, and that may seem like a fairly long period of time, but what we actually did was we took this concept and we started to extend on it. We introduced a lot of new features, a lot of we did a lot of experimenting with the core concept, And in the end, well, we basically removed it all.
Yeah.
We removed the features that we introduced. We stopped doing experimenting, and what we ended up with just was the basic game, but
Yeah.
improved on graphics and optimized for mobile, and with better audio, and so yeah. So that's the whole development cycle of this game up till now.
If I can make some complimentary additional notes to that, like the game you play now, it's like the super polished version of the Game Jam game, but we actually full circle on development.
Mm-hmm.
So like we headed out to experiment with stuff, try to add some new things, try to, like, some people didn't get the concept, so we tried to make the camera angle from the
okay.
is very important, especially on the how intense this game is. Like, if you pull it away too far, then this game doesn't become as tense as the game is when the camera's a little bit more zoomed in, because sometimes you can't see the other player, but you know where he is. That's kind of a challenge for the player to memorize where the other player is and what speed he is, and to actually think ahead of his movement. So, like, I know that the guy's coming up again, so I'm already jumping, and then you jump over the guy while you actually haven't seen him, and that's quite interesting to do that. And yeah, we did a lot of stuff. We experimented with a lot of things, and we came back right at the beginning, because this game is so delicate that if you change just a couple of things, the gameplay just completely changes.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Should be really careful with introducing new features in this game.
Yeah,
that's the bottom line, actually. And you can actually conclude that only the useful and good features were left in, on top of the basic concept that was that we started from with like 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So it's a lot of fine tuning then that you went through.
Yeah.
Like the jumps of the players. So what you actually mentioned just in the beginning, like this game just really makes me hate myself.
Yeah.
We put so much time and effort into everything in the game.
Yep.
Will make the player hate himself, because there's always a situation in the game that you can evade the other player.
Yep.
There's nothing in the game that attacks the player. There's nothing like music or art that is making you feel frustrated, or that makes you feel like this game isn't fair to me.
Right.
The blaming is the action you did in this game, and that's something we really, really, we took that really serious, and that's why this game is so frustrating when you play it.
Right. And I think it's an important thing too, because if a player isn't hating themselves, they're usually hating the game. Like if they can't get through it, and that's not something you want to do. Like, I always go back to Super Meat Boy. I think it's really important that gameplay be fair enough, but yet challenging, so that you have a feeling of accomplishment when you actually do it. Mm-hmm. And you're not just like feeling like you're trying to beat the game, you're trying to beat yourself, your own limitations. And I think your game presents that really well.
Yeah, I actually I broke my personal high score today. I went up to 710,105.
Jesus. Okay.
I got 11 today.
It was like to me that felt like a 10-hour epic quest. Like, woohoo! And then at the point I died, I was like, and then like such a minimal game that like emphasizes such strong emotional feelings when you achieve your new personal best. That's awesome. That's really awesome.
For sure. Going back to the inspiration of the whole Ouroboros thing and all that, where do you find you derive a lot of your creativity from? Is it old ideas and stories like that? Like, I've been talking to a few other indie developers, and it's actually kind of surprising that a lot of their inspiration comes from old literature and weird out there things, when a lot of games and stuff you see in the AAA come from, well, I mean, their previous games are like movies. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of neat seeing that
indie developers really take other media that's not just like right apparent in your face, like movies
a
and
more
other
diverse
games,
sampling of,
and going
yeah.
back to like the old ancient symbol of the Ouroboros and stuff like that. It's really kind of neat. So what else inspires you guys when you think of stuff?
I will just say this from my side, my personal side. I'm not really that deep into like, oh, I get inspired by some ancient literary, some ancient history or stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah, fair enough.
My personal inspiration mostly, it's not about just old games, but what I really envy in most old games is that, and that's what I try to do in my games. They take one mechanic, just one mechanic, and they pull everything out of that one mechanic.
Right.
And I think that's, yeah, probably a signature for the games that I tend to make, is that they have one mechanic, and that one mechanic is really interesting and really fresh. It has to be something that's not been done before.
Yeah.
And
Well, yeah, that's the same for me actually. I personally love game concepts that are so extremely simple and minimalistic, yet offering a player full, well, space to well, experience the game like he wants to, and that's why I like abstract themes. I don't like creating some sort of theme. Sometimes you have to, but in the case of Catch-22, you could create a sort of theme around this game that would not add anything to this game. So I really like abstract, minimalistic, simple things. Like I said, very simple yet powerful single mechanics like Catch-22.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's kind of interesting. That reminds me of a blog post I read recently by Clint Hawking. I'm not sure if you're familiar. He developed Far Cry 2.
right.
And who worked on Splinter Cell and stuff. He was just talking about Pong and how, because of how abstract it is, you can like kind of interpolate what sport it is. Like it's ping pong or it's tennis or it's air hockey. It's whatever you want it to be because it's so simple.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if you make it more explicitly ping pong, like Rockstar Table Tennis, then it kind of takes away that imagination part of it, and it's now just a ping pong game.
Yeah, that's really on the spot. If you look at it in the way into Catch-22, Catch-22 is just some spheres with colors, and there's no character. You are the character. Yeah. Like you fill in every part of that story when you play. Like everything that happens in the game is you. You decide the difficulty. You decide the pacing or how the story evolves in that regard. Like there's nothing explained into the game. Everything is imagined by the player, and I think that's one of the things that works really well in this game.
Yeah,
it's just a setting. That's it. We give you a setting, and the rest you can invent it yourself.
Yeah.
Right. Like, is it 2 planets locked in orbit or something? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, we had some people thought it was like you were inside a womb, and
okay.
Yeah, we had the most crazy people,
or like electrons swirling around a proton or something.
Some distant planet, and that's actually the most logical one. But like some egg, and then these are some sperms around it. People.
Are there any specific games you want to call out as being sources of inspiration? Like you mentioned games that have real simple mechanics that are well honed, but like, are there any specific ones that come to mind? Or
Alice, you know Alice?
Alice?
Yeah, ELISS. It's an iPhone game.
Oh, okay.
It's I don't get it that game didn't get so much attention, because it's a really, really good game, especially for touch devices. It's about positive and negative space. Actually, it's like you grow some, like there's some orbs on your screen, and you need to pull them around. And the game mechanic is really simple, but it evolves when you get further. It's definitely, check it out. You can probably find a trailer on YouTube or something. Alice, ELISS, and that's
ELI. Okay.
that's a very minimalistic game that is well worth checking out.
Yeah, but there's no real prior art to this game.
No. Like we
I
didn't have any inspiration when we
no,
made
but
Patch.
I think that at some point during the Global Game Jam, we actually looked at. I forgot the title of the game.
Was it Osmos or Tiny Planet?
Tiny Planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it.
Mm-hmm.
And we looked at that one, and we first tried to create a sort of world and planet and try to mimic some art of that game. But yeah, in the end, we just stick to the abstract thing, not having a real theme. Just
like at the Global Game, there wasn't like a real artist to work on the game to make like a character or some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, the reason why the game looked so abstract is because we didn't have time to make anything. To make anything world or something, and that actually that worked out really great for us because like we were like, oh, this looks so cool and so nice, and we don't need it. We don't think it needs anything more to. No, that's just it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like during the Global Game Jam, we made a lot of choices that were deliberate at that point. But like afterwards, after the Global Game Jam, we started to really see how much power each individual piece of the game withheld and how strong those pieces hold up the game. And if you change some of those pieces, then the game starts to fall apart or to do something that you don't want it to. And like after the Global Game Jam, we started to realize that, and we really hold on to the basic principles and the basic concept of the game we made in those 48 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Awesome. How has the reception at Catch-22 been for you guys so far?
Really, really great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it kind of weird that this little thing that you did in 48 hours and then expanded upon is all of a sudden getting so much attention and love from gamers all over?
Yeah, pretty much. For me, it is actually.
Yeah, we feel honored.
Yeah.
And well, that's one side of it, and the other side is that we truly believe in the concept that's behind this game. We truly believe in the game, and it's great that a lot of people think likewise, and that they love it actually. It's really flattering.
One side note to it is like sometimes I do feel like that we like cheated maybe.
Like you shouldn't be here.
Like some people like work for years on a game, and then finally after a long time they get the recognition for the game or games they have made.
Mm-hmm.
And we had some fun in 48 hours, and from there on it just exploded, and at some point it just skyrocketed after PAX. That was for me, that was like the game deserves it. You know, the game's good. The game really deserves it to be out there between all those games, and that's my personal opinion. If you look at it from a personal perspective, like should you be here?
There is blood involved with this game.
Yeah,
bloodshed and tears.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
A fight.
Okay.
We make it all look all good.
Don't talk it down.
But that's personal, you know. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I guess just more generally about yourselves, like other than developing games and stuff, like what media do you guys consume on a regular basis, like movies, music, that kind of thing? Sorry if that's too general. It's just
that's nice. I love watching movies. I love watching TV. I love reading books. I truly, truly, truly love listening to music and good music. Musician, so that's why I love music. But I think that one true source of inspiration in life is just the world around you and looking outside and waking up, looking outside and see the planet like it is and see the world like it is. And it sounds kind of new age and whatever, but yeah, that's what I truly believe. So yeah, those are my sources of inspiration, and the main source of media for me is just the world around me.
Oh, okay.
Speaking with people, because speaking to people is the oldest form of media. And
so, like, with recent kind of going to different conventions and stuff, have you guys had an easy time networking with other developers and just kind of having those interesting conversations about where you guys are going and this kind of the larger movement?
Yeah, definitely. I had a talk with a girl. She's working on an alternate reality game. It's so cool to talk with people about some kind of shared love. About making something you really believe in, because that in the end, that's what I think indie development is all about: believing in your own ideas and making them. That's why you see a lot of really awesome ideas coming from the indie scene, because they're just doing what they want to do. They're not motivated by money or metrics or the fans, they want this, or the fans, they want that.
Right, like market research says we need to put this feature in, and
exactly. And as for me, like, my most precious mediums, it will be the internet, and not just because it's connected. Like, I can read, like, I like to read a lot of blog posts from to see their personal opinion. It's kind of like having a conversation with someone, because a real conversation is always a lot different than reading someone's blog post and then contacting them about them, and it's like we're having a talk with you guys, right? Yeah, I think that matters. Like, I'd like to hear your opinions too. I don't know really how to explain that, but yeah,
like just the internet, global community, how easy it is to kind of network and talk to everybody.
Connecting
that kind of inspiration. I've definitely.
Yeah, it seems the internet has played quite a role in the word of mouth spreading the news about your game too.
Yeah.
Like, I see you guys on Facebook, and every time I looked, like, I haven't looked recently, but every time I've taken a look at your page, you've gotten numerous more followers looking at your stuff. So it seems like a really important part, especially of the indie game scene and development community, to, like, for companies that can't necessarily afford big trailers or TV spots or anything like that. It's probably the only way they can get stuff out there is by word of mouth.
Social network stuff,
yeah, definitely.
That's a good thing, actually. But I'd prefer the speaking to persons about internet,
about word of mouth. Like, we went to Tivoli. That's a club in Utrecht.
Yeah.
And we had the game running on the iPhone, and then people started. We were in the toilets, and, like, this guy's standing next to me, and I'm taking a piss, and so we get into a conversation. He's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" It's like, show him the game. It's like, it's a one-button game, and then, like, after a couple, he was playing it, and after a couple minutes, like, all kinds of people are standing around it, and, like, when he almost, like, died, everybody's like, "Whoa!" and everybody was screaming, and I like that. The word of mouth, I think it's still the best way to get your game out there. You can push ads, of course. And there's also a side note to that, because iOS games, it's a hit-driven market. So if your game, like, really slowly builds up steam, it gets enough attention with people that love the game. Does it get enough attention to be called an iOS success? That like really depends.
Right.
Like it's like once you get to the front page, then you stay there. But it's that fight to the top.
Yes. That's pretty tough. We're still not there. So yeah. Oh, we're doing our best. And, like, we got some really great reviews, and a lot of people are asking questions, and, like, these interviews, you guys just, like, show genuine interest in the game. Like, hey, you want to have a talk with you guys, and we're like, oh wow, that's really nice,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, speaking from just our group at PAX, I think we went with a group of 10 people, and I'm pretty sure everybody in our group, when we walked away from the Indy 10 or whatever the PAX 10, your game is the one that we all remembered, because it was so outwardly different.
Easy to understand, and then just you get that challenge right away.
And everybody I've told about the game, they've bought it right away. Like, everybody absolutely loves your game, so I think it's getting the recognition it deserves, and it feels good to be able to talk to you guys and hopefully drive more people towards it, because I truly believe in your product as well.
Nice.
Thank you very
Thanks.
much.
Yeah, that's a great honor, really.
Yeah, but we're still trying to get some more exposure.
Right.
Yeah.
So are there other events you guys are going to, like post Indicate, or are you heading back home for a bit?
Which we're hoping to get to Game City Night. That's in England. After we submitted to the IGF.
Okay.
So yeah.
Well, yeah, hopefully.
like it would be great if we like hit another big event. That would be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Nathan, do you have any more questions?
Just briefly, one, like just kind of going back to meeting on the internet is cool, but in person is better. Like, after a big event, do you guys kind of get that weird kind of post-PAX blues is what we get over here, where you're so used to meeting all these people and all these fun and conversations happening, but then normal life comes back and you just kind of don't have that anymore? Like, do you guys have meetups and stuff back home? Like, do you have a group or other developers you get to touch base with
Not
to kind of
really.
prevent that? Oh, okay.
Well, I'll give you another reason to like. You call it the PAX Blues, but I look at it completely different. Because at some point you just like sometimes you wonder if like you're the only one or the only couple of people that really think about your game or your passion that way. And after an event like that, there's a lot of people out there and that really have the same passion about games in general or a game as you have. So
and those people don't cease to exist after PAX. You just have to find them on the internet. Yeah.
It actually it's only growing. So it actually gives you a huge energy boost. Like after PAX, we were so psyched. Like and then after PAX, Facebook just ramped up and a lot of people got back to us like, oh guys, thank you so much for this awesome game, and we were like, wow, like really wow. So it makes it all worth it.
For sure.
That's it for us, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. If there was anyone listening thinking about creating an indie game, what advice would you give them?
We got that same question from someone else, and I always say advice is overrated.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean that in the best respect, because like so many people have advice, and you should only take advice from people that you think you can learn from, or where you think like, okay, I need to, because like a general piece of advice is really, no, it doesn't work. And Marlon had a good, actually. He said, just make the games you want to make.
Yeah, just make what's inside of your head. That's basically it.
Yeah.
Don't forget to be yourself. I got you.
Okay.
Seriously, and just keep believing. Keep believing in it.
Keep believing. Reach for the stars.
Yes.
I got you. Okay.
Aim for the stars. Like aim for the stars. Sometimes, and it doesn't matter if you shoot past the moon. You got there. Don't worry about failure. I think that's my only advice I want to give.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome. That's pretty good life advice in general, really.
I'm just thinking of don't stop believing. So
I was too. Yeah.
We're gonna have to.
I'll find a way to put that in somewhere.
Okay.
For sure.
Or just get a cover version of it or something. Then it's
We'll sing it for you.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for spending time with us and talking about your game. I really love what you guys are doing. I can't wait to see more from you guys and your buddy there that wasn't able to make it. So I'm looking forward to the future of Mango Down, and I wish you guys all the best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
Paul.
very much.
Nathan, thanks so much too.
Oh yeah, no, thanks for joining us. I did have a silly question about mangoes, but
Sure. Just go ahead.
Go ahead.
Do you guys enjoy mangoes as a fruit, or do you just like the Tango Down kind of comparison wordplay?
You want to hear the existence of that name?
Okay.
Okay, here we go. So I was at Rule's place, and we were doing some work, and I was sleeping over at his place. So I spent the night at Rule's, and we had a couple of beers, and we were like, we need to have a name for the company.
But you ended up in Roel's bed, huh?
Yeah. We spent the night together. Nothing happened.
I seriously doubt that.
Yeah.
Okay.
At some point, Rules said, yeah, we need to have a name for the company. And he was like, I was like, I want to have something with a mango. I said, why? I said, a mango, it looks nice. It sounds nice. I like it. Yeah, a mango is cool. Like it's a positive thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Point for just saying nothing and Rule all out of the song was like mango down. And awesome. That's
Okay.
He got it from like tango down as in the military and then mango down. Oh, well, there you go.
Nice.
Perfect. Okay. I just want to know. I don't know, because mangoes are good and everything. So.
Yeah,
Ah,
we think so.
Mind of that.
Yeah.
All right. Thank
All
you,
right.
guys.
So yeah, thanks again. That'll do it for this time. So tune in next time, and we'll have someone else. Thanks.